The morning sun rose gently over the quiet city, but for Ryan Ashcroft, it felt like the day had already broken him before it even began. He stood at the bus stop with tired eyes, holding a worn-out backpack that carried more weight than books ever could. Around him, life moved normally, people rushing to work, children laughing on their way to school, shop shutters lifting with hope, but inside Ryan, everything felt paused, stuck in a long moment of silent struggle that no one seemed to notice. Before we go any further, if you believe in kindness, second chances, and stories that remind us of our shared humanity, take a moment to like, comment, share, and subscribe to Brightly Storytime. Your support helps stories like this reach hearts that need them. Ryan had once dreamed big under skies just as blue as this one. He used to wake up early with excitement, believing the world had space for his hopes. But dreams don't always break loudly. Sometimes they fade quietly, day by day, under unpaid bills, unanswered calls, and the heavy feeling of being invisible. After losing his father to illness and watching his mother slowly retreat into silence, Ryan became the anchor of a home that was drifting apart. At just 22, he carried responsibility like a shadow that never left, following him through every bright morning. He worked at a small neighborhood grocery store, stacking shelves while the sun poured in through the glass windows, illuminating dust in the air like tiny stars. Customers rarely noticed him, and when they did, it was only to complain about prices or ask for change. Still, Ryan greeted each person with a soft smile, even when his chest felt tight. He believed that being kind was the only thing he still had control over, even if kindness never seemed to come back to him. Every afternoon, during his short break, he sat on the same bench outside the store. From there, he watched the city breathe, buses arriving, street vendors shouting cheerfully, birds hopping along the pavement. One day, an elderly woman named Mara Ellison began sitting on the opposite end of the bench. She wore simple clothes and carried a small paper bag, always arriving at the same time, always leaving before sunset. They never spoke, but somehow, her presence made the bench feel less lonely. Life, however, tested Ryan again when his mother's health worsened. Hospital visits replaced quiet dinners, and medical bills piled up faster than he could count. One bright afternoon, while the city buzzed with normalcy, Ryan received a call that forced him to lean against the wall just to stay standing. He needed money urgently, more than he had ever needed anything before. That day, the sun felt cruel, shining so beautifully while his world felt like it was collapsing. That same afternoon, while cleaning near the checkout counter, Ryan noticed a wallet lying on the floor. It was heavy, filled with cash, cards, and an identity that didn't belong to him. For a moment, just a moment, his heart raced with a dangerous thought. This money could fix everything. It could buy medicine, pay bills, bring relief. His hands trembled as he held it, the weight of temptation pressing hard against his values. Ryan closed his eyes and took a deep breath. He remembered his father's quiet lessons, spoken not in words but in actions. He remembered the way his father once returned a lost watch, even when they needed money. With shaking hands, Ryan turned the wallet into the store manager, feeling both relief and fear wash over him at once. He walked out into the sunlight afterward, unsure if he had just done the bravest or the foolishest thing of his life. The next day, as the sun climbed high, Ryan sat on his usual bench, exhaustion written across his face. Mara Ellison sat beside him as usual, but this time she turned and looked at him with gentle eyes. She told him she had seen everything the day before. The wallet belonged to her son, who had lost it in a rush. She explained how rare honesty had become and how deeply Ryan's action had moved her. Then she did something unexpected. She placed an envelope in his hands and told him it was not a reward, but a thank you from the universe that still believed in him. Inside was enough money to cover his mother's treatment and more, but even more powerful than the money was the feeling that followed. For the first time in a long while, Ryan felt seen. Truly seen. Tears blurred his vision as sunlight warmed his face, and in that moment, he understood that doing the right thing didn't always lead to immediate loss. Sometimes, it quietly opened doors you never knew existed. Days turned into brighter days. Ryan's mother began to recover, her smile slowly returning. Mara introduced Ryan to her community circle, where he found new opportunities and support. The grocery store no longer felt like a cage, but a stepping stone. The city still bustled, the sun still rose every morning, but now Ryan walked through the daylight with his head held a little higher, carrying hope alongside responsibility. Just before this story ends, I have a small request. Please comment below and share what part of this story stayed with you the most. Your words matter more than you know. As Ryan sat once again on the bench, watching the afternoon light dance across the street, he realized something simple yet profound. Kindness does not disappear when ignored. It waits. It circles back. It finds its way home. And if this story touched your heart, if it reminded you that honesty and compassion still matter in a world that often feels rushed and cold, please like, comment, share, and subscribe to Brightly Storytime. Your engagement helps keep these stories alive, reaching others who may need a little light in their day.